Black Oni.
All right.
Yes.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Black Oni podcast. I am your host, JBlaze06, and I have with me today Greed. I have your homie D.
What up?
And I have Soil, a.k.a. Sode.
What's up?
And we have a great episode for you today. There's a lot of exciting things happening in the gaming industry. Craziness happening with Gamescom. We're going to get right into this with our icebreaker. That never gets old. What is the one IP you wish they'd make a great game based off of?
Kamen Rider.
Kamen Rider.
Oh, yeah.
Every Kamen
hell
Rider
yeah.
game, for the most part, has sucked. There's been some major flaw, or it's just you beat it and that's it. There's rumors that they registered a trademark, Kamen Rider Mosu, whatever, the Dynasty Warriors, like little
Yeah,
title.
Muso.
Yeah, they registered a trademark for that because the last game they came out with was actually very similar to it, but it had like the worst motorcycle mechanics I've ever seen. I'll send you a video later, but it was horrible. It's like you have a motorcycle and it's like, like you ever play Fist of the North Star for the PS3?
I didn't play that, but I heard it wasn't that great.
Motorcycle mechanics like a bag of dicks. It was awful. So I'm hoping that they'll make a good IP based.
Magnets.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know too much about Kamen Rider, aside from the fact that it originates in Japan and it's a huge phenomenon, basically. I don't know what happened in between me figuring out what that is and shit, but I still have no idea, like, exactly what it's all about. Is it kind of like along the line of, like, Power Rangers?
Yeah, it's one of those like transformation superhero shows. It started off as a one hero show, and then it evolved into a multi-hero show. A lot of seasons have 2 riders, some have more. The current one that's coming out in the fall is called Kamen Rider Gaim, and it has, I think, 5 riders. And each one, like, there's a theme for each one. This new one is the Sengoku era, and their armor is based on fruit.
Huh.
So, yeah, the transformation scene is ridiculous.
I am
It's
Banana
a very
Rider.
good show. There's a theme for everybody. They've done vampires, cell phones, space, everything.
Cell phones. Why not?
It was way cooler than it sounds.
That sounds really cool.
Sounds hilarious.
Different, but cool.
Don't get me started on cell phones either. Keitai Sosaken 7 is a show about an anthropomorphic cell phone that solves mysteries.
What the
What?
fuck?
Like internet mysteries and crimes.
All right, Japan. All right, Japan. All right, Japan. You need to calm down. You need to calm down with whatever it is they're smoking.
That shit
Get
must
back
be...
to reality.
Oh, idiot. All right.
Hey, man.
I still stand by my statement that there needs to be a great Gundam game that is released in the U.S.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna put it out there. We have Zone of the Enders. If they just skinned Zone of the Enders in Gundam and gave us out of robot combat as well, that's a game. That's a thing I would buy. My money.
You ever hear of 100 Years War
Is that a
at all? Or
Gundam
it's an
title?
Xbox 360 game. It's something Gundam 100 Years War. It was for the 360, and it never came to the country, but it was a first-person shooter that you can be in a Gundam and you can get out, and it's an FPS. It is
100
amazing looking.
100 years.
If anyone has the ability to play imports for the 360, play that game.
100 Years War. I'm about to look that
Oh, I
shit
know.
up.
I'll find you the
actually.
link for it if you guys want to keep talking.
Yeah, dude. I want that. I want that real bad.
Oh, I thought you meant GameCube. I'm sorry. Never mind. No, you said if anybody had the ability to play imports for the 360, and I was like, oh yeah, no, I do, but actually I have a freeloader for the GameCube, and I was like, never mind, I don't.
Not quite the same.
I want them to make another good No More Heroes game. Yeah.
How
that
about
game-
Heroes 2?
I have it, but I haven't gotten to beat it yet. I started playing it when I first got it, and the first boss fight, the first level in the game is a boss fight. Okay, so the controls I feel like aren't as like good as the first No More Heroes, but overall the game was apparently like shorter and not as fun. So I want a good third one.
Huh.
Yeah. But I haven't beat it yet, so I can't really say anything. I beat the first one. The first one was dope. and I got the real ending, not the fake one. Yeah.
I have. Speaking of No More Heroes, I mean, this is from the Suda 50 or 15, whatever. Suda
51.
51. That's what it. I just had. I'm dyslexic. I just mixed the numbers up. Whatever. I pre-ordered Killer is Dead, but I'm wondering if I should just wait until the reviews are out for that before I buy it.
It got a pretty good review from Famitsu. I think they gave it a 35.
Out of 40, right?
Yeah. The complaint was that you couldn't jump.
What kind
Here's
of
that game, by the way. It got renamed to Operation Troy.
Operation Troy? So
And it's 1 year war. I added 99 years to the war. Sorry, everybody.
God damn it! I was typing it in. I was like, why can't I find it?
Yeah, Gundam games are the shit.
Dude, seriously. I almost bought the Gundam Warriors Dynasty games. I played the demos. I was like, oh, this is cool. I want this just because they're Gundams, but it didn't feel like they were Gundams. It felt like they were just people in robot costumes.
This will pain you that it didn't come out.
You said what?
This will physically pain you that it didn't come out.
Oh my god, it sounds so awesome. Like, no one even bought Xbox 360 in Japan. What the fuck?
They probably wanted to market it as like a killer app for people to buy the 360.
Still didn't work.
Yeah, I had a Gundam Dynasty Warriors 3, and I got to the end of that, but the last boss is, like, ridiculous.
You know what last boss is ridiculous in a fucking video game? Dragon's Crown. That thing fucking sucked. So, I mean, I love that game.
Dragon?
Really?
Yeah, that dragon kicked my ass like 12 times.
It's actually a fucking dragon.
It is actually a fucking dragon. And it breathes fire and shoots wind fucking tunnels that you can't avoid. It hurts me so much thinking about how much stress I put myself under playing that shit. The game was so good. Anyway.
I still have to... I'm like level 17 or something.
I love that game. I love it so much. Did you already give yours off?
No, I was thinking about the question because I'm rereading it here. It's like, what's the one IP you'd wish they make a great game based off of? So other games could have come beforehand, or it can be just any.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it could be any IP from anything, or it could be like a game that has already come out, but they just didn't execute it well.
There's one that always comes to mind. It goes back to like favorite game of all time, and that's because I have not played a good Bond game since GoldenEye. I have not played a single good James Bond game, and I've tested them all. The racing games, Tomorrow Never Dies on PlayStation, World Is Not Enough, even the newer ones, and they all just suck. Even when they tried remaking them and shoving all those legends in the one game, no. I just want to, I want a fully fleshed, actual good James Bond game. Give me some good stealth mechanics. Give me some driving missions. Give me some of that suaveness. I mean, I know they can do it. They got the technology to do it. But
they have the technology.
But I have not seen a good James Bond game in years and years and years.
I hear you. I haven't even attempted to play a James Bond game since GoldenEye, basically. No, and there was another one I played. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was PlayStation 2. But
PlayStation 2. Which one was it?
I think it was a third person. I played it, but I didn't buy it.
Was it Everything or Nothing?
It might have been.
Third person view. You were kind of rappelling in one scene. It was a lot of third person combat.
Yeah, it might have been that one then. I don't even remember completely.
It was a nice try.
Yeah.
It still fell way short of the bar. It really did.
Did anyone play Alpha Protocol?
Wait, I wanted to get that game.
It was an espionage RPG, like action RPG. It was horrible.
I know.
But if they made a Bond game like that,
that
would be. When you pick all your equipment, you level up skills and stuff. You could be like a super suave James Bond, or you could just be like a dick that shoots everyone. And that would be awesome.
That just blew my mind. Like, like that would be amazing because Alpha Protocol. Before it came out, I was like, man, this is going to be like... I think this is before Mass Effect made its way to PlayStation 3. And I was like, this could be like our Mass Effect, man.
Right,
this is like our spy Mass Effect version. You can interact with people and take on the missions whatever way you want. And it was just like, the shooting mechanics aren't very good.
It was awful. It was like win-back shooting mechanics. I think when you shot, like you could see the bullet. It was like a line. It's like a really big line.
What the fuck? That's unnecessary.
And it was just horrible.
That's awful. That's terrible.
Muy terrible.
All right, next section. Gaming. what have you been playing this week, and what, in terms of you've been playing, pass, rent, buy, or must buy?
I have been playing Fire Emblem Awakening, and after you get through the initial tutorials, that is a pretty good game. Story-wise, class advance wise, I don't like that my weapons break, but I guess that's just an extra challenge. Even though I'm playing on casual mode because I can't bear partying with my soldiers permanently.
They're broken forever when they break, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
That's
Yeah.
Is it an action RPG or is it just a RPG?
It's a turn-based strategy game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, man.
So
like the rest of the series.
That's like
it's
kicking the balls. It's like, yeah, you kind of need this person to be fighting, but you can't really run away to go fix your equipment. So
you cannot. Yep. And there's like a staff in the game that's like, oh, you can repair your friend's equipment with this staff, but you can only use the staff once. So it's like, what's the point?
Once per match or just once ever?
Once ever. And then the staff breaks. Yeah.
Can you repair the staff with another staff?
No, because then the staff is broken and you would only have another staff of that staff. Once the staff is broken, it's broken.
It's a cruel cycle.
Staffception.
Yeah.
Even Dead Island's nicer.
But
seriously.
It's a good game. The story like keeps you involved if you think the gameplay is like repetitive. And I don't know, it looks nice in 3D, like the battle sequences, so I would buy this game.
Nice.
More so than Shin Megami Tensei 4, which I still haven't completed.
Did you do the promo code thing?
The promo code?
Yeah, if you register both of the codes for both games on Club Nintendo, you get $30.
Yes, I did that. Yeah.
Because you're running out of time.
Yeah. But I got a bunch of like shitty games after that though, because nothing good is released. So yeah.
And Pokemon's coming out. You can use that $30 towards Pokemon, right?
It's too late. I have like 877 now. I'm gonna use that towards Pokemon.
Awesome. I've been playing Splinter Cell. That's basically what I've spent the last week playing exclusively. When I've had time to play, I would say definitely. I haven't beaten it yet, so I can't say for sure what happens further on throughout the playing. I would probably say it's a must-buy. I mean, there are very few gripes I have about the game. Like I said it before, my main gripe is the ability to move exactly the way you want to. If you just push the analog stick just a little bit, you should only move a little bit as opposed to just kind of going in a full strut.
Like moving and
moving.
Like
if I want to walk a little bit slower and embrace the environment around me, or like look around a little bit better, I don't want to like feel like I'm moving too far already. Like I want to that full control experience, man. I don't know. That's my only gripe about the game. Other than that, it's excellent. Like online is when you're playing like Mercenaries versus Spies, it's hard as fuck. It is so hard because first of all, the game is already pretty difficult because the AI is pretty decent. Mm-hmm. But playing against other players who have swivels on their head and like they're looking around, like if you're a spy, you have to either be fucking fast as hell and just like slicing people up and shit, or you have to be really patient and very stealthy because they're humans. They can see where you are and they will shoot you, and you get hit like 3 times and you die.
Or once they shoot you in the head.
Right. So I've been on both sides of that spectrum, and like I've been the mercenary and shooting people. I'm like, all right, I can get into this, and then I've been a spy and like just like slicing people and just like running up to them like, oh, you think you're gonna get me? Slice, dead. So it's kind of cool, but it's really really frustrating at first.
That's exactly what I've been playing too. Splinter Cell, Blacklist for like the last week, and I did have that gripe too. I actually went to the options menu just to look for like a sensitivity function, just so I could inch a little bit more, but. Mm-hmm. Besides that, love it too. Mm-hmm. I'd say it's a must-buy. A lot of replayability. Even one level, I've gone over 2-3 hours at a time just to get every little enemy or every little nook and cranny. It's spy action. I miss that stuff.
Me too.
Really good.
I really do. I miss like real stealth. That's awesome.
Oh,
like
and the co-op is amazing
co-op is
too.
so good.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, and so many different options and ways that you can do it, whether not killing anyone or killing who you choose to, or just going flat out balls to the wall and killing everyone you want. It's very, very well done so
I'm
far.
gonna be uploading a video soon of me and
I was gonna say, have you
JC,
guys
man.
been streaming any of it or recording any of it? Because you both have PS3, right?
I do, and we both have PS3. Yeah.
You guys got to put up a co-op session where things go awry.
Dude, I have
Yeah.
gameplay sessions of that exact thing happening. Like, I'm gonna do a montage of just like one playthrough of just failures. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go through here. All right, here's some lasers. All right, I got this. And just like instantly, as soon as I said that, like we just lost. Like we had to start
You still
over.
drag dead bodies?
Yeah, you
Yes.
can throw dead bodies first of all, and you can throw them out of windows. Or if you knock them out,
I want to see some Will body dragging action. Like, no, Will, wake up!
dude.
Wake up, Will!
Dude, I'm going to
He's
show
dragging
you.
you into a corner.
I'm going to show you footage of just me knocking people out and just throwing them out the window into the water. Like, it's the best thing ever. It's like, I think I could just be happy if the whole game was just me doing this, just throwing people. It's so good. Oh, good times. All right.
I've been playing Saints Row 4.
Oh, so good.
Nice.
I want to.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really, as much as I hate to admit this, a Saints game would have a good story.
Mm-hmm.
It has a good story if you've been following the other Saints games. The story is ridiculous as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in the game is ridiculous, but it's so happy.
Yeah, it really
Like
is.
how everything is working out so far. I have one mission left, and there's a lot of bugs in the game. So for whatever reason, whenever I use the dubstep gun and I'm on this fight, which is an incredibly powerful weapon,
Mm-hmm.
in the last mission, you'll hear the music just die down, like just actually like fade out, and then the game will freeze. And it's happened 3 times to me already.
Really?
That
I don't know
annoying.
why. I've seen a lot of complaints about bugs, but it's driving me nuts.
That would drive me nuts.
It's a really, really good game though, but given how fast Saints Row 3 went down to like $29.99 for like a brief period of time, I wouldn't be surprised if it went down in price.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe when they
definitely
put out
interested in
the
getting it.
non-special edition or whatever.
The Wub Wub edition.
And they have every launch copy was like the inauguration edition or something like that, which came with extra content,
Mhm.
which means that they're probably going to do when they do their second printing a non-special version of it, which is probably going to be when they're you can still get Saints Row 4 or whatever, try it out for $29.99 or something like that. Because they did it with a lot of games, it seems. Like Dead Space 2 was like $39.99 the week it came out or something. No,
Shit.
Dead Space 3. I forget where we are in the world of Dead Space.
3.
Yeah.
I have some gameplay footage of that to put up too. I love that game. I was playing with JC and he hadn't played the game yet, so I was playing co-op with him. He just had the shit scared out of him like so many times. Like, oh shit!
Oh, that
My
game.
favorite thing ever.
Yeah, Saints Row 4 is definitely a must-buy for anyone who likes that genre of game. Even with GTA around the corner, I think this one might be more like loose and fun,
Mhm.
less about taking it seriously.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's one of the things I love about Saints Row is that like it started off as a complete GTA clone and now it's like it's its own thing. Like it's so funny and I was listening and watching Angry Joe's review of it and the shit I was hearing in the review was just great. Like
The superpowers are nuts.
yeah, the superpowers are crazy. Can you
I
actually
just wish they could
fly or
pick
can
up
you
the-
only glide?
You glide like a flying squirrel. You can do like a dash in the air, like almost like a Dragon Ball-esque like thing
Yeah.
for a couple of meters, and then you can learn to do that 2 or 3 more times, and then you can go into a glide. But then you can just land on a building, run up the building like in Prototype. I swear to God, they took the running from Prototype.
They really look like they did.
It's awesome,
Yeah.
but the only complaint is you can't pick up cars like you could in
Aw.
Crackdown. You can punch and kick them across like the street, but you can't pick them up, at least not yet. If there's something I haven't discovered, it may be that.
The
But
fuck?
yeah, I haven't maxed everything out yet. I'm almost at the end of the game.
Shit.
It's very fun. And the
Yeah.
whole game's co-op.
Yeah, I like that about that too. It's pretty
That is pretty cool.
co-op friendly. Okay, so on to a little next segment. What are the standout games from Gamescom for you guys, if there are any?
Minecraft for the PS4.
Legit. I never played Minecraft, so I don't actually know from experience what the hype is about.
Dude, you've never played Minecraft?
I've seen
I
people
honestly
play it.
haven't either. I've seen it played and I've heard a lot about it, but I have never touched it, so I can't say if it's good or bad.
I've
I
seen people
can't.
play it online all the time. And they're like, "Oh, this looks like a lot of fun if you're playing with friends and stuff like that." Like they have like
Yeah.
this Hunger Games thing that I can't remember who he was, but it's a pretty big YouTuber. Does like this Hunger Games series, and they all start in a room and then they have to go get supplies and shit. Like it's kind of cool what they were able to do with it. But
It's a big open thing. Like, it's fantastic.
I want a Little Big Planet,
World.
but it kind of like Minecraft in a 3D space, like a 3D platformer version of
That's
that.
what everyone tells me Disney Infinity is.
What?
Yeah.
That's kind
The
of
toy
what I've
box,
heard.
man.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to my world of debating whether or not to buy a children's game, Will.
Shit, fuck, damn it. Using all my money on gaming. Not like I wasn't already doing that anyway, but I should rephrase that. Using all my money on current gen gaming.
On children's gaming. It's hard. Like, regardless of how acceptable it is for adults to buy these things, it was like I wanted to wear a mask when I went into the store to buy fucking Skylanders. Like, it's embarrassing.
I would never be embarrassed to buy a Pokemon
I think I
game.
bought it.
I don't give a fuck.
I bought it, I think, when Yakuza 4 came out, or Yakuza Dead Souls. I think it was like the same time. So it's like, yeah, I'll take the game where you shoot zombies and you play as these tough-ass Japanese mafia guys. And then I'll take Skylanders with two of these figures because I think the animals look cool. Embarrassing.
Just like, yeah, it's for my little sister or something. I don't know.
I worked with them. They knew I didn't have a little brother or sister. It's horrible.
Fuck you, fuck you, Corey.
I'm gonna order things anonymously online from now on. They don't know my history.
Put that shit on what's the thing? I'm looking for the word that Chrome browser lets you. Incognito. There we go.
Oh yeah, incognito.
Yeah. All right. For me, I think there's this game. Oh, I completely forgot the name of it already. I should have been prepared for this because I fucking prepared this whole thing. It's a game that's really colorful, and I think it's a platformer action game.
Is it Project Spark?
No, but that looks really interesting too, actually.
Is it Knack?
No, well, not Knack. I want to get Knack, but that's not the game I'm referring to. It's an indie game, I think. PS4.
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's just for the PS4, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah. It's like, what was that? See if I can find
Is
it.
it like
too,
a
'cause I was
single
reading
word?
about it. It was like the Xbox 360 equivalent of fuck. What was that?
That was a great game.
Yeah. Cool story, bro.
I know it was only posted like in the last day or so.
Yeah. It was very recently that they even like. It's not N++.
No,
It's not Primal Carnage.
no. If it's what I think it is.
Oh my god, I am so bad at this now. What the fuck? I know this. I know the name of this game. I know this. I got this. Did I put it in the
You might
agenda?
beat me to it.
No, I didn't. I should have put it in the
I
agenda.
didn't see it there.
Go to the next person. I need to figure out what this game is because I really want to get this game because it looks really beautiful.
The standout game is The Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah, but
I saw
that subscription price though.
Yo, fuck you. It's the same as World of Warcraft, and I'm going to play it for at least like 3 months to see if I want to continue playing it. Or at least until the next Elder Scrolls game comes out, single player one. Yeah.
Fair.
I saw the footage from QuakeCon. Apparently they're letting people play it at Gamescom, and that is just crazy because I want my hands in that right now because I'm getting bored of Skyrim again, even with all the mods.
Really?
Yeah, I want to be online with like other people and just be a dragon knight and like stab them in the face. Like that's my.
It's Rhyme. It's called Rhyme. Rime.
Rhyme.
Yes.
Really?
Seriously, dude. I'm gonna. Damn it.
See if you can find it. I couldn't find what I was even
Arner?
looking for.
Game. But yeah, nah, Elder Scrolls Online, totally. Because everybody's like, oh, this game would be awesome with multiplayer, but I kind of want to see like how many people just hate it because it has multiplayer. Because I feel like that's gonna be a thing. Like I might even hate it too, but I'm still curious.
I feel like
because
it's a recipe for success. Like it is the best idea ever.
Nah, not really.
What?
And what's second off?
I don't like when things go MMO.
Really? Well, what
Yeah,
other
it just-
games can you think of that went MMO that really shouldn't have?
Battlefield, like they made Battlefield Heroes, which is kind of an MMO. They did a
I didn't know about that.
Shimigami Tensei Imagine series, which was an MMO, and it was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Uh,
fun for like 10 minutes. Like,
Damn, fuck you, Will. Shit, I thought that there weren't that many games that went that route. And
No, there's a bunch of them that ended up going to MMOs. Like whenever they do it and they add that subscription I don't like Final Fantasy 11 or 14. I did the beta testing for 14 A Realm Reborn,
yeah.
and it was just it's like every other MMO.
Well,
And you need to be online to play it.
Fuck. It was very confusing. Like you had to really, like, look into a lot of shit because, like, I was playing with one of my friends and like I tried to join her game a bunch of times. And like, you have to be in the exact same spot basically as the person in order to know where the fuck they are in the world in relation to where you are. And it didn't really. It had a terrible way of like the partying system was non-existent basically, and there's no voice chat.
That sucks.
Yeah. Fuck, man. But it was a fun game, but
This is kind of why I wish .hack and CyberConnect didn't have like financial issues because they came out with a. Oh, and I wish that they continued with a .hack Fragment because they came out with an MMO that was basically a clone of .hack, but you could play it offline and online, and your
What?
character levels offline would transfer to the online character
Like
levels
Phantasy
too.
Star.
Fantasy
Yeah.
Star. They need to do one.
That
of those
is
for
my
PS4.
favorite model for an MMO.
Yeah, that's pretty legit. They need to do that for PS4. I would play Fantasy Star.
They have a Vita one coming out.
.hack.
They have a Vita one coming out?
Yeah, it's been out in Japan since February. They
Oh,
did Phantasy Star
yeah.
Online too, and it's really good. It's very linear, just like the other Phantasy Star games, but they're fun.
Yeah.
What
And
is this?
it looks better. There's more options and stuff. But they're doing it. They did it for Vita, and they're supposed to be bringing it here for PC and Vita as well.
Dude. I might get a Vita, because there's that. There's more Masa.
And they're on
Fantasy
sale.
Stars. Fantasy Star isn't enough to make me get a Vita.
Well, I'm getting a PS4 as well, so like I'm going to be using Remote Play, definitely, if I get a Vita, because that's just
For
dope.
for like what? Like what are you gonna use remote play for?
Well, Zach likes to watch sports, and he likes to watch other shit on TV, and I like to play.
Oh,
so
Oh, you're just talking like in relation to your roommate situation, not because there are any games that you really need to play remote play for.
No. I mean, those are what I would use Remote Play for, basically. But there are games on the Vita alone that I would really like to get. Like, there are certain games that would play really awesome on it. For example, I want to get Persona, of course. I want to play the Vita games that are already available, like Gravity Rush. I want to get more
Soul Sacrifice.
Soul Sacrifice. I heard a really great stuff about from you and from a bunch of people. Muramasa again. There's I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's like Monster Hunter, but it's set in Japan.
Oh, Tokiden.
Tokiden?
I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's something like
not
that.
out here.
Yeah, but
I don't even know if we're getting it.
if we don't get it, I'm gonna be depressed.
We don't get a lot of things, so you should just be used to that by now.
I should be.
I found screenshots for it, but it wasn't the same thing, Jay.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to pronounce it. I feel like so stupid.
Resogun.
It's like Resogun or Res
Yeah.
Zero Gun.
Res Zero Gun.
It's like Super Stardust. It's like Super
Yeah,
Stardust
that's
when they
kinda-
released that.
I remember this, and it looks like it's going into 3D plane, but it actually isn't. It's just going side scrolling. It's cool.
And it's just PS4. That's a PS4 exclusive that they were talking about the other day.
Yeah, there's a lot of PS4 exclusive games that are like smaller, like indie digestible games that I'm really like. They were talking about like, oh, there's too many indie games for the Gamescom. I'm like, guys, this is where some of our most interesting ideas come from, indie games, because these are the guys who aren't afraid of taking risks. Like Dive Kick, for example. Like I was seconds away from buying that, and I've heard, and like I've seen people play the game, and I've heard nothing but like. They start off as a joke game, and people are really digging it.
All you can do is dive and like
kick.
jump and kick, right?
That's
That's
essentially it. And I think if you hold the dive button, the jump button, you'll like go backwards or whatever. And then like every character has like a special ability if you press the two of them at the same time if you're doing really well. So it's like it's the simplest game you can play, but it's just like a mind game to play with your friends if you're like hanging around a bunch of people. And it's like, all right, I'll fuck you up with this dive, and you fucking with the kick. And then,
I heard they were making a controller for that game.
just
Like
two
just a two
giant
button
buttons.
controller.
Just
I don't know if it was a joke or if it's a Kickstarter, but I honestly heard that they were doing that.
I've heard rumors that it's a thing that's going to happen.
It's so ridiculous.
That's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Evo 2004.
Controller with two fucking
It's Evo
buttons.
certified, isn't it?
I don't know if it's Evo certified yet.
Dude, I think it's going to be an Evo.
It'll be a dark day in fighting games.
Yeah, for real. Guys,
Speaking of games that are going to Evo, I'm
The
pretty
Ryu
sure...
on your shirt is crying now, by the way.
I'm pretty sure PlayStation All-Stars could have been a really great game if they had not only...
Game blows butts.
We played it yesterday. It was fun. I don't know what you're talking
It
about.
sucks, dude.
I had a good
Even though I got like a score of 12. I don't know how that happened.
You get whenever you get kills with your special attacks, that's what happens. Like we had two people who had no idea what was going on, and then we had me and Dan, and they were just like running around into his attacks like all the time.
So great. So great.
Like, God damn it, guys, run into my attacks.
That game still blows ass, so I'm not gonna lie.
You don't like it because it's a Super Smash Brothers ripoff.
Dude, and it's not a good one. Like at that. Like,
If they had implemented a system where you didn't have to win by using special attacks, but just by doing damage, it would have been a better game.
It would have made way more sense.
Yep.
And I wouldn't hate it as much. And they should have included Spyro and Crash Bandicoot.
And Solid Snake.
Yeah, that too.
They don't even have Snake in there?
No.
And it's a Sony fucking exclusive game with Sony fucking characters.
They have Raiden.
They have Big Daddy, don't they?
They have Big
It's
Daddy.
'cause- I think
That's
it's because,
weird. How did Sony get the exclusive for that? I thought
Snake
2K
was-
was all big on Xbox.
Yeah, but Xbox doesn't have its own brawler.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, dear Lord.
I think it's because Snake was in Super Smash Brothers.
Fuck that. I don't care.
Yeah, it's probably why.
I'd still put him in. Fuck it.
There might be a hold on him for a couple more years. Unless he's going to be in the new Smash Brothers, then he's going to be locked in eternally for Nintendo.
Yeah, most likely. I'm just
They're
glad
slowly
they
going to make his limbs shorter.
Your cat's awesome.
Thanks.
So yeah, that's what I'm basically most excited about coming out of Gamescom. I mean, that's one of the games I'm most excited about. I want to like Drive Club more than I'm liking it, but they've only shown alpha footage of the game.
It's going to be free, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be partly free.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's
partly.
like a pay-to-go thing, right?
Yeah,
It's like a PlayStation Plus version or something that's like free, and then you get like I think a car or several, but you don't have access to the full game.
right
You do have to pay for that. Yeah.
for the whole thing.
They give you a chance to try it, though, so you can be like,
Yeah.
yes, this is this much worse than Gran Turismo 6.
Or Forza at that.
Yeah. Is
making
Forza
a Gran
coming out
Turismo
for
movie,
PS4?
No,
No.
Forza is not
Ish.
ever coming out. Yeah, right.
Forza is the best driving sim. Like, way better than Gran Turismo.
From what I hear, I've played like the original Forza, and I was like, oh, this is cool. But I never played like the later ones that were for like 360 and stuff. But like I've heard from everyone, like, yeah, this kind of blows everything GTA does out of the water.
GTA.
GTA.
I mean GT. Sorry.
Yeah, GT.
Those gun mechanics in Forza are horrible.
They're so bad. They're not even there. God.
But they're making a Gran Turismo movie now.
Don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, the creator of Gran Turismo denied them for like 7 years until he heard the story of a guy that was actually playing Gran Turismo and became a professional racer. And he was like, "Yeah, that's a good movie."
That actually might be cool if they do it like a
kinda
documentary.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be Gran Turismo the movie with a storyline. I want it to be a documentary. Like that sounds really cool. Like that sells
It could
how
be cool.
realistic I guess the simulation driving in Gran Turismo is.
I feel like that's not going to happen though.
No, we're gonna get some Hollywood bullshit
We're gonna
about
get a
Gran
Hollywood.
Turismo the movie, and that's what I'm feeling.
Right.
But I would love if they did that the right way.
Hey, Malik is on.
God damn it!
It's like an hour late.
Seriously. Wait, I don't see him on.
He just said yo.
Said, "Yo,
Damn it! All right, we're gonna invite him in. We're gonna see what happens here.
Can I go back to bed?
If you want to, you're more than welcome to.
All right. It was great. First half of the Black Only podcast. Dan the Man.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody, I'll be here in the chat.
This guy's
if
awesome.
You need me.
He was mad clutch. He was like, yo, I can come on.
Right. But
Good night, Dan.
Good night, everyone else.
Later, Dan.
I'll be in the chat.
Good
Peace.
shit.
Well, if they even have that, I think they dropped a little moniker on the end. So, but it's still in development. They're still hardening it away, and it's just next gen only. They said.
Yeah,
so I'm looking forward to seeing that again because I guess the alpha footage we saw months ago was really
years
awesome.
ago, dude. That was a long time ago.
It wasn't that long ago, was it? Last year.
I worked at GameStop when that footage came out. That was like a year ago.
Man. Gosh, that's how long I've been waiting already. It felt like that was yesterday.
Dude, I remember meeting a bunch of you guys on originally when we played what's that shit? Rainbow Six Las Vegas?
Yes.
Yeah, man. I remember that.
Those are the days. You're a good shot.
That was a good shot. Those were the days. Had my silencer. Had my freaking. I don't remember what scope I had, but it was me, you, Bauer, Maverick, and JC Mac. Just rolling together all the time.
Gosh, that's right.
I don't know if I told this story to you before, but you know how in Rainbow Six Vegas you could use the Xbox Eye to take a picture of your face and put it on your character?
Yeah.
So I made the mistake. My mom was visiting me, and I made the mistake of putting her face on my character. And you know how when you die, you can see your body on the ground? And if you get hit in the face, there's like a red shot mark where you got hit or whatever.
That's awful.
I had to walk by like 3 versions of my dead mom. I was like, Mom, I don't think we should do this anymore. It was horrifying.
That is awful.
She was smiling when she took the picture. Her character. It freaked me out. That's my only Rainbow Six Vegas story. That's it.
Oh my god. That's probably why you stopped playing it. Yo, Malik, you there?
Yeah, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
It's going well, man. How about you?
It's going pretty well, man. Pretty well. Sorry I'm late.
It's all good, man. You're here.
Yeah. I was actually up like super early this morning and then freaking just dozed off and just for like 1 hour. And I was literally up like 8:30. So craziness over here on the West Coast. How's it going with you guys? Well, I feel like I'm just like jumping into the conversation.
Nah,
I heard Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were reflecting on the early days of our gaming on this generation.
No, that game has a very, very special place in my heart.
It really is.
Yeah, very special place. It's the reason why like I started my YouTube channel. It's
really?
like the catalyst for like everything as far as this generation goes for me. So
yeah, I became a much bigger first-person shooter fan after, honestly, after Halo came out. That was when I really became a big first-person shooter fan. But then when Rainbow Six Vegas came out, I was like, all right, military shooters, let's go.
I felt like I was too stupid to play the other Rainbow Six games because they had way more tactics than Vegas had. It seemed like Vegas was more run and gun. You could play it like a shooter instead of being oh, breach this, clear this, everyone walk in a straight line behind me. You were hiding behind shit while people were just spraying you with bullets. It was way more fun.
Yeah.
that's true. That is definitely true.
Yeah, I remember I tried the run
Rainbow
and gun
Six.
approach in Rainbow Six Las Vegas. It didn't work out too well for me, so I just stopped doing that.
You're more competitive players in Rainbow Six, though. They know how to use everything that was offered. You know, they've used the GPS. You know, they used the jammers. A lot of the more competitive players, they didn't play with armor because they wanted to be more mobile and be able to get around a lot faster. Pretty much all the competitive players used the FAMAS because the gun didn't have any recoil at all. So you could basically just spray that gun and just kill people from like across the map without aiming down the sights.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, once you learned like all the little tricks and stuff, it got pretty competitive.
It got really competitive. Like I remember I joined a clan. We had the EXE clan, Tactical Execution, and that shit was great. It was great. We did
That is awesome.
Did we do game battles or not? I don't remember if we did, but we went through and we was just wrecking shit online. But
I hear that.
yeah, it was good.
You want to know one of the really cool tricks that people used to do on there? So you remember you could customize your character in the color of everything on your character.
Yeah.
Well, they used to do this thing where the people on your team, they had like that little Rainbow Six icon over their head, the green icon.
Mm-hmm.
So the really smart players would put a green hat on their head to confuse people, to make people think that they were on their team. That was like something that was really, really annoying.
I did not even think about that. What?
That's such a dick move.
That is such a dick move.
Because I'd look and go, oh, that's all right. And then get shot from behind like 5 seconds later.
What happened? We were just before we got sidetracked on Rainbow Six, we were talking about what our standout games from Gamescoms were.
Okay.
I mentioned there's this game called Rhyme.
Rhyme, yeah, Rhyme looks, yeah.
I can't
the game that looked like Ico, kind of.
Yeah, it looked like Ico. So someone on his link is saying like it looks like a mixture between Ico and Wind Waker.
Right.
Like, I'm about that life right now. That sounds pretty cool.
I agree, man. I agree. I actually made the mistake of thinking it was an indie game when I first saw it.
It's not.
Apparently, it isn't. From what I'm hearing, because I actually was talking about it, and then I had a whole bunch of people like comment back to me like, "That's not an indie game."
Oh, shit.
I still haven't researched to see like who's developing this game, but
What game is it?
Rime. Rhyme. It says it's by Tequila Works, and I never heard of them before.
No, I've heard of it before too, but I didn't know much about it. I thought it was an indie game too. I really did.
Shit. Oh yeah. By the way, I forgot to introduce you guys to everyone. All right. So Corey over here, he goes by Greed.
Hey.
This is
what's up, man?
my brain just kind of brain farted there. Dave. He goes by Soil, aka Sode. System of the Down.
Thank you.
What's up, man?
What's up?
This is Malik Forte, aka The Truth.
The truth. Is it the truth or the truth? Like, what's your tag, man? Out there in the online game world.
I used to go by the truth MVP. That's what a lot of people call me because that's my YouTube channel's name. But nowadays, I just go by my name, Malik. Or some people call me Malik Forte because that's like my handle for like Twitter and everything else. There's a story behind that. I don't want to go too deep into.
Oh man, we gotta hear that story at some point.
Yeah, like if we're online sometime playing, I want to hear that story.
Yeah, I definitely don't mind going into it. It comes from my dark past of getting picked on in high school and middle school.
Let's if you don't mind, we can get into that.
All right.
Yeah, why not?
My last name is Forte.
Mm-hmm.
Like Matt Forte.
Like Matt Forte, yeah. Rapping Forte.
Yeah.
And so yeah, people just used to like think that was just like the coolest thing, and they thought they'd just go ahead and make a play on words. And so a lot of people start calling me Malik Foreplay instead of calling me Malik Forte.
Wow.
And so after a while, people didn't want to say Malik. They just kind of wanted to shorten it. And then they just start calling me Foreplay. And then the name just stuck after that. So like back in my hometown in Cincinnati, a lot of people refer to me as Foreplay. That's it. That's what people call me. And so it just stuck, and I kind of just got used to it. So I was just like, okay, Malik Foreplay. And then like a lot of people, they'll see the Twitter name and they'll see Malik Foreplay and they'll be like, oh, because he's a gamer, he's just Foreplay.
Right.
They don't understand that it's not like that. It's kind of like just my real name and nickname combined, pretty much.
I basically thought it was like a play on words. Like, yeah, it's like, yo, this is Malik Foreplay, and like foreplaying for gaming, but also like foreplaying like teasing type of thing.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
clever, but.
Yeah.
It's still clever.
I mean, there's so many entendres to it, so I'm just like, okay, I'll roll with it,
Yeah, that's legit.
Take a bad situation and make a good one out of it.
Basically, damn, there was something similar that happened with me. I mean, I don't go by any of those things, but like that's kind of the idea behind Black Oni. As many of you know, Oni is another word for demon or like an ogre creature, originating in Japan. But it also, I guess, in a later translation, is like a modern day gargoyle, for example. So what we would think of like a guardian angel type of, not guardian angel, like a guardian or a protector of like a temple. And so the idea behind Black Oni is for the character, Jay Blaze. He is referred to as the Black Oni. It was originally like oh, he's this demon creature, but he's actually a protector. He's a guardian. So it's kind of, I see what you did there.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's good stuff. The next thing on here was we talking about some of the latest game releases, and we did touch on Saints Row 4 a little bit, and we touched on Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell as well. I love Splinter Cell so far. That game's dope.
Oh yeah.
It's so good. But XCOM Declassified just came out as well, and I'm so sad that that game didn't get the reviews I was hoping it would get.
People are all over the board for that. They've been going as high as like mid 8s and as low as I think it was a 4 on or a 4.5 on. Was it Destructoid? I can't remember.
Yeah, Destructoid gave it a 5, I think.
I've been hearing lots of mixed reviews about Declassified.
It sounds like a recipe for success, though. I mean, like I loved XCOM Enemy Unknown. It's hard as fuck, but I like the game. It's like if
this one's like Mass Effect though, like a shooter with RPG elements, though, right?
Yeah, and you can.
So
control,
it's not even.
like,
It's not really a real-time strategy like the first one was, or the last one they made. Okay.
Yeah, it's got like the elements of real-time strategy. So like at any time you can slow down time and choose what your teammates will do and like where they'll go and stuff like that and who they'll target. And so you have control over your teammates at most times, but they still have that permadeath system in there, and you can only have like 2 or 3 people with you at a time. I think they, at least at first, I think they give you more as you keep going on. But like they said, like a lot of the dynamics didn't actually end up working out very well. Like the difficulty was like they had a checkpoint system, but they also had like a thing where like if you die either way, it brings you back to that checkpoint. So I don't know. There's a couple of things in this that they did not like about the dynamic between how it was working and like what your risk factor was for doing poorly. I don't know.
It's a shame.
It is a shame because I remember E3 they were talking about XCOM and like the trailer they showed was for this game that's coming out, not for the one that not for Enemy Unknown. It was like, oh, this looks amazing, this looks so cool, and then like we didn't hear anything about this game for like a year. Like, what happened to this game? Is it still in development? Like, is it still a thing?
On the XCOM, they announced the new DLC for that, right? Was it Enemy Within or something like that? There's a new XCOM DLC for the first one.
Yeah, they did. They announced. I didn't even actually read anything about that. I was like, oh, cool, more DLC. I'll check that out because I figured I will anyway. Shit. Let's see. Rabid Zombie Apocalypse. I don't know if you guys know anything about that.
Never heard of it.
Wait. Rabid Zombie Game Apocalypse?
No. Rabid Zombie Apocalypse. I just fucked up the wording in that.
Okay.
Wait, like Rayman Rabbids? Is that what we're talking about?
Zombie Rabbids? That'd be cool.
Sounds
Dive
so
Kick. We were just talking about Dive Kick not too long ago.
Oh my god, I freaking love Dive Kick.
That's what I'm saying though. Tell me about your experiences with Dive Kick.
Dude, let me tell you something. Dive Kick is like the most simplistic like fighting game of all time, and I think that's what makes it like so much fun.
Right.
But like it's not even simplistic. It's like really it's like complex simplicity because you can make it complex. You know, they just add just enough to where you can make this game freaking like something ultra strategic, and I think that's just freaking awesome. My first experience with the game was at PAX East earlier this year, which I think is what, March. Yeah, so
you was in my hometown.
Yeah, I was there, man. I was there, and freaking I went up to the booth, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the competitive fighting scene, but
Evo.
There's Mike Ross is like one of the competitive fighting figureheads. A lot of people know him. And so he's up there kind of showing off the game, and I walk up, and I've seen Mike multiple times. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What is this game? And he's like freaking super excited. Oh, you got to try this game. This game's going to be the next big thing. And I'm sitting there watching people press like 2 big-ass buttons. And I'm like, this guy can't be serious, man. He can't be serious at all. So I went ahead, I sat down and gave it a shot, and I was hooked, man. I was super hooked after that. And I've been waiting for the game to come out since.
Yeah, man. I keep hearing the same thing from everybody who's played it. It's like, yo, it's simple, but it's strategic. If you know what you're doing, you can psych the other people out because like you can determine when you're gonna go into your kick once you dive. So if you go into it early and the other person tries to go in, seeing you do it, you can jump just in time to get them at the same time. So
right, yeah, and they all have different kicks. They that attack from different trajectories, and they all have like special abilities. And There's so like anybody who's a fan of the fighting game scene, they're gonna freaking love it because they pay so much like fan service to like the fighting game community.
Yeah, they got Seth Killian in it now, don't they?
Yeah, they have like Seth Killian, they have like freaking Mark Mann from Mad Cats in there. They have Jay Faley, who's like one of the tournament organizers in the fighting game community, and like pretty much every time he wins a round, his head grows bigger because he's like an egotistical guy. A lot of people know him because he's like really, really egotistical. So like if he wins around, his head grows bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and so it's kind of hard to win with him. But he does have like a good kick. So it's just pretty awesome how they sprinkled in that fan service for everybody who follows the fighting game community.
Right. I definitely noticed that. And like Seth Killian can he has his hands going like this.
Yeah.
When he's standing, and then he teleports as part of his jump. So he's just like godly, basically.
Pretty much, he's godlike, man.
Yeah.
Super godlike.
I was tempted to actually download that game for the little get together I had yesterday. I was like, this would be hilarious to watch people play this right now because they would have no idea what the fuck to go into. It would have been great.
That is the truth.
There's Might and Magic X Legacy. I know Corey has some words about that.
Yeah, I've only looked at the videos and the pictures because I recently got into like a 4X strategy kick on PC, and I want to say they changed it to a first-person dungeon crawler instead of being like a Heroes of Might and Magic RTS game, or not RTS, like turn-based strategy game. So I didn't even pay it any mind. It just doesn't look at all like what I'm used to for Might and Magic games. I don't know, correct me, other than like Dark Messiah, what other FPS style or just first-person dungeon crawling Might and Magic games were there? Was it always like that before they did the Heroes series, or?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. I never played any of the Might and Magic games.
It doesn't look good.
Not my series.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know anything about it, basically.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who freaking am in the dark on Might and Magic for the most part as well.
Yeah, I gotta agree.
I put it in case someone knew a little something that I didn't know, but
All I know is I didn't like how it looked. That's basically it.
I don't know. I don't think playing turn-based RPGs on the PC is something that I can find myself doing.
yeah,
Yeah, it's such an old type of thing.
yeah.
Yeah, but and when I think PC, I think point and click, but I don't think turn-based RPG. It just doesn't fit for me. I don't know.
Right. I feel you. I know exactly what you're saying. Like I feel like it's either point and click or like Twitch gameplay or even just real time strategy completely. But I don't think I'm playing like a traditional RPG, JRPG on PC.
Right, exactly.
I guess I never tried it though, so I can't even. I played Pokemon on PC before, so that's different.
No, they made it for PC.
No, they didn't. But I found a way.
There's emulators out there and stuff.
Yeah, there's the internet and all that.
Good point. Good point.
We actually were talking about Disney Infinity for a little while before you came on board.
Disney Infinity, wow, man. What can I say about Disney Infinity? It's OP.
Yo,
I will say that
they are gonna make so much money for no reason.
Oh yeah, just because of the people that are in it. Like,
right.
I'm not gonna lie. I saw The Incredibles and I'm like, I'm sold.
Yo, we were just talking about it. It's like, part of me would feel a little ashamed going to the store to buy that, but the other part of me is like, you know what? I could have Buzz Lightyear and Jack Sparrow together on a team.
Exactly,
Suck
dude.
It.
How do you beat that?
I don't know, man. If you put Solid Snake in there somehow, he's not a Disney character, but I don't care. Do
Yeah,
it.
can you
I'm
imagine
happy.
like the non-Disney licensed characters that they're inevitably gonna be putting in the game? You know it's gonna happen. They're gonna have
Darth
extra
Vader.
like PlayStation or Wii U exclusives or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Gonna have Wolverine and Iron Man.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was the thing they talked about.
Gonna have freaking Darth Vader and
Yeah, definitely.
Yoda.
They could get away
Yeah.
doing the Clone Wars versions because that kind of looks like the same art style.
They really could. That's
That would be
Good.
really awesome.
that would be sick.
Oh man, I'm thinking of Ashoka. She's such a badass, man. I love her. There is actually, before we move on to the next part, I figure I might as well ask you this. We already answered this question before. What's the one IP you wish they'd make a great game based off of? Really, what is like that one game that they have this idea and they have the IP, the intellectual property, but they just didn't execute the game well? Or what is like something that doesn't exist already that you would love to see just executed beautifully?
You mean as far as like does it matter who develops it, or?
I mean, it could be whoever you want to develop it, just as long as if it would happen. Like my example was a Gundam game. Like even though there's a bunch of Gundam games that only released in Japan, like I want like what I'm thinking of is like something like Battlefield meets Zone of the Enders, where like you can go into your Gundam and it'll control like the way they control in like Zone of the Enders.
Oh, okay, yeah, I hear you.
I want a Gundam like that.
I'll tell you something that I've always dreamed of. I'm a big fan of the Matrix trilogy, and I played like the games like Enter the Matrix and Path of Neo, and I enjoyed them for what they were. But and I also played like the PC MMO Matrix too.
Matrix Online.
Matrix Online, yeah, I played that too. Like I tried to get into all the games, but I still felt like there was no like legitimate like true Matrix experience. What I would like would be like to actually be able to like log in, like to have a game. It'd be like an MMO kind of, and basically you'd have like a ship, and you'd be like on your own like freaking ship from Zion. So like you wouldn't be like on the Nebuchadnezzar, the ship Neo was on, but you'd be like on your own ship with your own crew, which would be like your clan mates or whatever, and basically you guys would all like, you know, do different missions, and some of the missions would be like actually like in the real world, and some of the missions would be in the Matrix, and you jack in, and like in the Matrix you go in and like do these missions and freaking have agents on top of you, and like people, you basically have to choose a side too. You could play like as like the humans, the resistance, or you could play as like the freaking or not. I was gonna say zombies. What the hell? The machines. Yeah. So like the people who play as the machines, they can jack into the Matrix too, but they'd be like sentinels and stuff. And basically, their whole like existence would be like trying to like capture humans in the real world and like use them as batteries and power. And they need them for their existence and stuff. And basically, as humans, your whole agenda would be like freeing humans and freeing them and getting them out and stuff.
That'd be kind of dope.
Yeah, it'd be dope. The idea is like freaking so deep. I could go on for it every day because I've been thinking about it.
You got a lot of good concepts in there. Like some of the technology or the games we got coming out, like they could take a little bit of this or a little bit of that. It's possible. Yeah,
it's definitely possible. And like the gameplay mechanics would be like could be like super cool. They could have like they could do like a Max Payne thing where they have like the bullet time type thing going on.
I love Max Payne.
Yeah,
but mix in some true crime with it. Mix in some of your karate moves too at the same time.
Yeah,
get that flow down.
Yeah, and they could do something real
so
cool.
Badass.
They could do something real cool, like how on Assassin's Creed, I don't know if you ever play like the multiplayer, but like when you're walking in the crowds, how like they have a thing where you can try to blend in with everybody.
Right.
So like, say you're playing on the side of the agents and the sentinels and the robots, and you're inside the Matrix and you're trying to find humans. Like when you're walking in the crowd, it'll have like the little beacon that shows you when you're closer to a human. So like you actually be like inside the Matrix trying to find like other people who are humans and trying to take them down. And that beacon would kind of show you like what direction they're in, but it won't show you exactly who they are.
That would be kind of like that's cool. And like the thing about the next generation that I'm really looking forward to is that there's so much integration within the single player experience and the multiplayer experience that like they blend seamlessly together now. Like the best example I could think of was like Destiny, where you're going about your business and you might have one of your friends along the ride and someone else joins in the game. They just drop down from an airship. There's no menus. There's no like fiddling through all this stuff. Like, oh, I got to invite him. I got to make sure voice chat is enabled and all this other crap. None of that. That's like one of the things I'm most excited about. Like being able to go into public events like on the fly as you're in a physical space as opposed to in a menu.
Right. I super agree with you on that.
Yeah, man. I'm ready, man. I got my PS4 paid off already. Like it's ready.
November 15th, we're almost there.
Taking vacation that whole week, man.
My life is over that day.
You know what I'm saying? No one call me. I don't want to hear nobody saying, hey, I need someone to drive me to the hospital. My leg is cut off. Nope. Don't care.
Yeah, I've been pretty vocal to everybody all my close friends and my loved ones that, if you call my phone, you're gonna get a voicemail. Just know I'm not dead. I'm fine. I'll at least like tweet once a day to let everybody know, hey, I'm still here.
I'm still feeding myself.
Still feeding myself. I might not be showering, but
nope. No shame.
It's real out here in the PlayStation 4 land. It's real out here.
It really is. Oh man. The next part of the agenda is gaming news. There's a lot of gaming news that came out of this past week, so at any point you guys can interject and add to this like we have already been doing anyway. Sony seems keen on delivering as much content out of the box as possible and giving you the best value in terms of next gen. Does what they're offering make up for the lack of a built-in camera when it comes to the PS4 versus the Xbox One? Because now we're hearing Xbox One is bundling the FIFA with its console.
I don't want the camera. I could care less about that stupid camera.
Most people don't want it.
Because it's the only thing you need it for are the games that require, or have options for that type of stuff. And I'm assuming, because I have those Move-esque lights on the back of the controllers, that's going to be something that you need the PlayStation Eye for. But I didn't need a PlayStation 3 Eye, so you don't really need it. It's going to be a gimmick.
Right. Yeah, I'm super with you on that.
I'm really torn between this right now because the more I keep saying it out loud and talking to people about it, the more I keep thinking in my head there's probably some crazy innovation that we aren't going to see implemented as well because it's not a standard feature within the box. And I think this is where Xbox was trying to go with their approach. I mean, they completely fucked that all up with the way they presented everything. But
yeah, definitely, dude.
They really did. But I this part of me is just saying what if in the next big shooter, as a standard feature, we would have had the ability, for example, the facial mapping. I would love that ability to do for an Elder Scrolls game, instead of me having to fiddle through all the sliders to make my character the way I want him to look, which is like me anyway. It would just be done for me.
Something else that was on Rainbow Six, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Did anyone see
Rainbow
the Blood
Six.
Mask reviews, by the way?
The what?
Blood Mask, sorry to interrupt, the Square Enix portable game for PC, iPad and iPhone.
I'm about to look that shit up.
They have face mapping where you put your guy on, you put your face on it, and it just doesn't look right. They had one of these guys who reviewed it. He was wearing a hat and glasses, and he has a beard, so it's all cut off at certain angles, and he played the whole game with this character.
Oh, that's awful.
I don't know how I feel about the face mapping thing.
It definitely needs fine tuning. I know Rainbow Six face mapping. They used to give me a receding hairline a lot, or depending on the lighting in the room, I'd have a very, very yellow face, like I have jaundice or something. So,
I think the technology is at a point now where they're able to do a lot of stuff. Like what they showed off with the Kinect, for example, how it was able to figure out where certain features of your face are protruding and not protruding, and the pigment and all that stuff. The technology is there and the ideas are there. It's just the way it's implemented. And I'm wondering if there was a way that developers have these ideas that they want to experiment with, but they're just not going to fuck with it because they're not that many people are going to have this, so I'm not going to bother type of thing.
Right.
Well, unless it's a Microsoft exclusive game. I mean, in my opinion, when they first came out with all those policies and procedures, if they would have, well, first off, not done any of that, but came out with Project Spark first. If they came out with that demo of what it's capable of what you can do with all that technology, which was really cool to see, to go from that simple concept of creating a level and just adding on and making that huge masterpiece at the end.
Right.
That's cool. That's something only they'll be able to get, but I think time will tell where that technology will go. I'm not sure yet.
And I think in time they'll probably even make the PlayStation camera even less expensive.
When they realize no one buys it.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, though. I do have mine pre-ordered. I'm deciding whether or not I want to actually keep it or not. I played Move games. I played Resistance on a Move, and that game was ill. I loved it on Move. And I played a couple of the other party games, what is it called? The Sports Champions and Sorcery. I just got Sorcery, and I played that for a little while. That's a really fun game. Those are Move only features type of thing. So I don't know.
I'll have one for. I'll get one for party reasons. You know, like having parties and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's absurd that Microsoft tried to make it a standard. You know,
Yeah.
I respect. Don't get me wrong. I respect Microsoft as like a gaming, entity, but I feel like too many times, like with anything, this isn't just gaming. It's just with anything. Like even with like Windows 8,
Yeah.
they try to force things down people's throat and make them standard. And it's like, who do you think you are? Like we have like our own lifestyle. Like if people like stuff, they'll cling on to it, and then you can make it standard. Don't just like throw it out there and be like, "Yo, this is going to be the next big thing," and there's nothing you can say or do about it.
Right.
That drives me insane about them. And that's what I felt like, though. I feel like this whole freaking Microsoft Xbox One rollout was like a recap of like what happened with Windows 8, pretty much. I feel like everything was getting forced, and that camera. Like that camera is just like one of the things. I'm glad they at least took the mandate off to where you don't have to have it, have to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm glad, but like I don't know, like Sony not having a camera standard. I don't think they don't have to do anything to make up for it. It shouldn't have been standard in the first place. It should be an add-on, something that you get if you need. And I will get one. Hopefully there is some face mapping. Hopefully there is something really cool like. I don't know if you guys have seen on Splinter Cell Conviction with the Kinect, you can actually like scream into the camera to get people's attention, and you can set like these gizmos to where you say something into it, and when you throw it, it like talks to people when they walk past it.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's cool. There's cool things like that I think that it would be nice to see them do that with the PlayStation camera.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Nice,
but not standard. It doesn't have to be a standard. It should be something that if you want it, you can buy it.
Word. It's gonna be good. I guess the next thing I want to talk about in the gaming news section is the console launches. Now, we're seeing some pretty unprecedented things in this next generation of console launches, whereas PS2 and PS3 had like 10 games, 5 games you can get with the system right when it came out. Now, PS3 is saying they have 33 titles you will get with your PS4 once it's released, and the Xbox One has 23.
Wasn't it within the year, or is that release day?
I'm
thinking it was by 2013, but I didn't think there were 33 all on release day.
And that's including some of the indie titles too, though.
All right,
and that would have to include like the multi-platforms too, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're not exclusive.
That sounds about right. That sounds right.
Yeah, and I mean, what do you think is going to be the public perception? Like, are we going to get a lot of really good games out of this, or is it just going to be stuff for us to play to tie us over until the big stuff hits?
Both. Yeah, it's instantly both. I mean, you're still going to get your Madden that didn't come out yet. I mean, it's out now, but not on next gen. Your Battlefield, your Call of Duty, but also your other games are still waiting for. Like, well, not that it's going to count on current gen, but Watch Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm really looking forward to that. But I think you'll get both. I think so.
I just hope Killzone is as good as it looks. That game looks so sick.
It does.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say there's definitely like some shovelware. There's definitely some games that I'm sure a lot of people are going to look past. Like, what is this even there for? I actually, me and my friend Will, funny name, the other Will. We were recording a video last night talking about which system had the better launch lineup. Mm-hmm. And as we're reading through the games, we realized that there's some games that just, why are they even on the list? Why are they even there? I believe like Xbox One of their launch titles is Zoo Tycoon.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Zoo Tycoon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Why?
You gotta please the masses. You gotta please everybody. That's all right.
I guess. I mean, I don't know anyone who's getting a fucking console day one who wants to play that.
Exactly.
There's that guy. There's that guy out there that's raging that he gets his Kinect and his Xbox One so we can talk to his system and play with his animals. There's that guy.
Oh man. Now I'm hoping for the best because like I've been let down by console launches before. Like PS3, for example, when that dropped, Resistance was like my go-to game, but like the other games out for it weren't really that good at the time.
Lair.
No, don't even like. Such a disappointment. But then like PS2 had fucking Bouncer and Tekken Tag, and Bouncer lasted like 5 hours before you were done with it.
Right.
So I'm just hoping for the best because like I want to feel like my investment into PS4 right away was like I know it's gonna be great because I'm already excited about a bunch of the games that are already coming out, like Warframe, for example, Planet Side, Blacklight. Those are all free games that I can play without paying a damn dime.
Warframe and Blacklight.
Mm-hmm.
So I am so pumped for those games are going to sneak up on people. I think a lot of people don't understand, like, because they might not know about the indie free-to-play games from the PC.
Right.
Like I think a lot of like people like us, we know about that, of course, but like your mainstream gamer who plays like Call of Duty doesn't know about that. So, and the fact that the PlayStation 4 is so freaking like socially connected, so people can like see what you're playing.
Right.
Like they're gonna catch wind of it, and they're gonna be like, what is this first person shooter this person's playing, or this third person shooter this guy's playing?
They can watch that.
They can watch it, and they're gonna get into these games, and they're gonna be like, yo, this is actually pretty dope. I think that like that aspect of the launch is gonna kind of be what like wins for the PS4 a lot. It's just like the social aspect of it, because if there are games that do suck, it's like at least I get to share this with my friends,
Right.
And then there's gonna be that like this discovering of new games through friends because you see them playing and you're like, this actually looks like fun.
Right. You can talk to people when you join like their stream. Like you can like, oh wow, this is kind of cool. Like what you playing here? You can talk to them and figure out what's going on. You can hand over control to someone so they can try it out a little bit. Like what? Come on, man, this is crazy. Just imagine,
Will you'll be playing and somebody will hop in and you'll be like, hey, I'm playing Blacklight Retribution. This game is free to play.
Just download it and just jump in with me.
Just download it. It's like, oh, I could do really? I don't have to pay $60. I'm on it, They'll jump in and
I think a lot of developers are going to be making a lot of money off of free advertising.
Yeah.
But with games like that, with like Blacklight and Warframe, are we going to see more microtransactions and stuff like that, or is it straight free to play?
Well, you'll definitely see microtransactions, and you'll definitely see lots of advertisements in these games.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's necessary. They have to make their money.
Right.
Well, yeah.
But I believe it's a small price to pay. I feel like it's a keen way to sell gamers.
Right.
Because you're getting the gameplay, and once you're invested in it, you're not going to care about the other stuff anyways.
Because you pay $60 on games that just have just as much high quality values as these games that are coming out. So it's like I will be okay with spending $20, $30 on this game, no problem.
Oh yeah,
it's no big deal at all to me. I'm like, shit, I should give you guys money to keep doing this. Period.
Right. I think Sony understands this though, and that's why they're like really pushing with the indie games a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna win for them. I think that's the main. Like a lot of people were complaining last week. I don't want to go too far into Gamescom because I see it on the agenda. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people were complaining about indie games, and I feel like people who do that they just haven't really got a chance to really embrace it yet.
Yeah.
And when they do, they're gonna be like, "What the? I've been missing out on this."
Yeah, because people associate the idea of indie games as like an iPhone type of style game.
Right, exactly.
Like, there's so many innovations happening in indie gaming. Like I want to play Octodad because it looks ridiculous and it looks like a lot of fun. Like it's just like who comes up with an idea like that?
Dude, that is the funnest game of all time.
Yo, I'm saying I want to play that so bad.
It's a game of the year contender, man. Indie game of the year.
Yeah. And like Journey, for example, that's a game that people have been raving about so much.
Yeah.
People are sleeping, man. They'll find out though. They'll find out.
Didn't Journey win like Game of the Year?
It won Game of the Year and like it was up for like best soundtrack and like best artistic direction, and it was up for like a lot of awards, and it won quite a few. I think Game of the Year was one of them, if not depending on which outlet. I know The Walking Dead got one. Yeah.
And Walking Dead is technically an indie game.
Technically, yeah. Telltale, yeah, it technically is. You're right.
So
you're right.
One of the best games I've ever played. Shit, cried like a baby.
No, it was licensed because of the Walking Dead name, but other than that, it was that studio is pretty much an indie studio. Yeah.
All they gotta do
They're-
is
They were set after Back to the Future.
yeah. I didn't play that actually. I heard it was good though.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
That's cool. PS3 and the Vita get a price cut. The PS3 version of the 12 gigabyte model. Memory cards see a drop in price, but do you guys think it's enough of a discount, and will this save the Vita?
Well, first off, the PS3 12 gig getting a price cut. Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like at this point, who cares?
Yeah. 12 gigs is nothing.
Yeah, 12 gigs is nothing. But as far as the Vita goes, then
that was a smart move, I think, on their play.
Mhm.
Perfect timing with the new system around the corner,
Mhm.
and it might keep it. It might not save it, but definitely push some sales up. Hell yeah!
Mm.
right, I agree. I definitely agree. I think, especially with the holiday season coming, people are gonna, they're gonna go out. They're gonna be some really good bundles. First
Right.
off,
Right.
with the price being lower, so people are gonna buy it then, and then on top of that, with the integration into the PS4, people are going to be more motivated to buy it anyways.
Right.
So, yeah, it was definitely a perfect time to cut the price, a perfect time to get people excited about it. I believe the PlayStation Vita has actually has good titles
It does.
on it, that gotten super slept on, like Gravity Rush. Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
The game,
Go ahead.
game makes me dizzy as hell, but it's amazing. You know?
I have two other friends who have Gravity Rush, and they tell me it's a great game. I played the demo of it like at Best Buy one day. And I was like, this is kind of cool. Like I could see why people like this. I was like, let me see what other games are coming out. This was like back in like when Gravity Rush dropped, basically.
Yeah.
So I'm still like, I've had my eye on the Vita for a long time, but I was like, man, like I still can't justify it because like I don't do enough mobile gaming, and like most of the gaming I do is at home, on a couch.
Right.
But I mean, there are some games that are on Vita that I would like to play even at home.
Yeah. I think with the PS4 and that integration, I think getting a Vita inspired me to go outside a lot more.
That's legit.
So, like, I travel a lot as it is, but like, I actually would like just do stuff like go to the park.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Me and my girlfriend were actually talking about like camping and playing the Vita and crap like that. So
That's cool.
there's definitely like a lot of I don't know, having a Vita just it feels very liberating.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the price cut definitely is a good thing. I think I think the Vita is going to be a viable platform by the end of 2014. There's going to be a lot of people. It'll never be on the same level as like the 3DS.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, astronomical numbers right there.
Yeah,
They
there'll be a
push
lot
it
more
well.
people with it. I think the install base will at least double. And that's saying a lot. So
That is saying a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely helping up a lot. Like I'm highly considering it. Like I'm gonna wait until Black Friday to see what exactly is gonna be like the big deal in terms of that, because I almost got one last year when Black Friday dropped. But I still feel like those memory cards are still like, for a 32 gig, that's still too much fucking money. Like it's down to like $78 or $80 or something like that. That's still a lot of money.
For just a memory card. Yeah.
I mean, I understand like 32 gigs can hold a decent amount, but if I get like a regular SD card, a high capacity SD card with 32 gigs, it will cost a lot less than that. I don't know, man. I want a Vita. I ain't feeling those memory cards, man. They
yeah, at the proprietary memory, that was like the big downfall with it, pretty much. Kind of reminded me of the old school PS1 and PS2 memory cards.
Those are expensive too.
but a lot more expensive than those.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Oh man, so I keep hearing from people who either attended Gamescom or who are been paying attention to Gamescom a lot that they've been eyeing Titanfall quite a bit.
Yep.
Now,
Rightfully so.
yeah, that game looks like a lot of fun. Now, the game was published by EA, and for the longest time, Mass Effect was set to only be a 360 exclusive title, and they moved it over to PS3.
Well, I gotta reference one of your other podcasts. I said it when I read the little blip that maybe 2-3 weeks ago now, that it's not out of the realm of possibility. Well, right now, yeah, it's an exclusive Xbox One, PC. That doesn't mean they can't do it. And when asked directly about that, he was very coy in his response. He wouldn't give a straight no or straight yes.
That's true.
It's possible, but right now that's Xbox One's moneymaker for your diehard gamers, and it really looks really good. It does.
It really does. It looks pretty dope. I'm really jealous. I might start playing on my PC a little more adamantly just so I can play that. Cause it
looks so good.
Yeah, it does. It does. I'm kind of butthurt
just
over
like
that.
screaming like with your jetpack or running across walls or your mech in itself, and just the ability to deploy it when you want to too. And
it activates like a kill streak basically. Like you do well enough, and like, all right, here's your Titan, have fun. Like, all right, I'm okay with this.
I would love to play it. I would just to see what it's like.
I wanna. Malik, have you gotten your hands on either of the controllers yet?
I have. I've touched both of them. I actually played Titanfall too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a chance to get into Titanfall. I will tell you this. I don't know if you. I was going off on Twitter the other day, and a lot of people were calling me crazy. And people will probably call me crazy moving forward for saying this, but it's my honest belief. And when it happens, I'm going to be there saying "I told you so" to everybody. I think Titanfall is going to replace Call of Duty as a shooter.
Yeah.
Like as that top multiplayer shooter. Yeah, I just think that Call of Duty on its way out, if there's somebody who's going to just take it off its throne, Titanfall's the perfect game. Now, mind you, right now it's going to be kind of tough with it being an exclusive, but when it goes multi-platform, and everybody's able to, there's going to be so much like hype around it already because the Xbox One people are going to eat it up. So then you're going to have your PlayStation people going to be like, oh my God, I want this game so bad. And when it finally goes multi-platform, it's going to be like a freaking megaton crap storm and everybody's going to hop on it. And I'm telling you, man, the game is just that polished, man. Like freaking, it's so seamless how you move around.
It looks so smooth.
It is. And these guys are the guys who are responsible for why Call of Duty is what it is right now. They made that freaking, standard and good mechanics, that Call of Duty's kept, and with Call of Duty kind of switching engines and things of that nature, I just don't see it like, I don't know, man. To me, it's too much of the same, man.
Yeah, we're getting some Call of Duty fatigue lately.
Exactly. Yeah. And they've been losing market share to Battlefield as it is,
Right.
So, between Battlefield and Titanfall, they're going to just, they're going to lose the throne, man. And I think Titanfall is going to be that game that finally holds it. Maybe sometime in 2015, we'll see Titanfall in the driver's seat as far as, first-person shooter goes on consoles.
Yeah.
We'll see. So that's my bad. I think the game is great, man. And I'll put it to you like this. I say to a lot of people with Call of Duty, that game is like, it's like a basketball court. It's like one of those things where it's standard. Like you go to a basketball court, you can always take a ball and shoot it in the basket. No matter how good the rim looks, no matter how messed up the net is, you know that you can shoot on that 10-foot rim regardless. That's kind of what Call of Duty is. They can mess up the graphics. They can mess up anything. People are going to play it because it's just that standard.
Right.
And I believe with Titanfall, they're building another freaking basketball court. They're building another court, another little playing ground that people can come on no matter what they do. After people get sucked in, they're going to just love it so much. It's going to be a standard.
I mean, I guess I can understand exactly what the thinking was behind making it exclusive at first on one platform, because this allows them to kind of dedicate all their resources on one thing at a time as opposed to dual resources. So, I mean, I feel like developers now have the ability and also the knowledge to be able to develop on multiple platforms, especially considering Xbox One and PS4 architecture is so similar now. But this is probably a good way to kind of test the waters to see where they're going to go next.
Right.
I still don't like the fact that it's exclusive.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
They banked off that. They banked off that.
Yeah, of course they
got
did.
money for that. Microsoft knew what they were doing with that. I mean, they messed up on a lot of other things in their approach.
They got
game,
that one right.
They got that one right.
Yeah.
Which controller do you like more?
PS4, and that's not even me speaking from like a fanboy perspective, because I honestly thought that the Xbox 360 controller was definitely a little more favorable to me when it came to playing shooters.
Yep.
I actually balanced between both of them because I couldn't play fighting games on the Xbox 360.
I can't.
That D-pad is horrible.
Even the improved version of the D-pad is still just ass.
Yeah, and the Xbox One's D-pad isn't the best either, just from touching it. And the face buttons are just absurdly big to me. I'm like, I don't like these face buttons. It's like they took like peanut M&Ms instead of regular M&Ms and put them in the controller. Yeah, I could definitely go without that. I don't know. I don't really like the Xbox One controller. I think they should have they should have pulled a PlayStation and kind of stuck a little closer to, you know, the Xbox 360s. I feel like the Xbox 360, that was the controller, you know, and I feel like they're taking kind of a step back with this new one, and that's just another door they're opening for PlayStation, because the PlayStation controller is actually a lot better.
I love the DualShock 3. Like, people like complain like, "Oh, my fingers are always slipping off the controller." It's like, what do you like, playing your game like this or something? Just like, ah.
But since none of us have held it yet, I mean, what's it like for the PS4 controller? What's better about that one?
Well, first, was better than the Xbox, or was better than the current PS3 controller?
Either or. Like,
I mean, the improvements they made. First off, the concave analogs, which I wasn't completely sold on at first, but I think having that little groove inside, putting your finger on the groove, controlling those analog sticks is so much easier than it was before. Your finger doesn't slip off. My finger never slipped off before, but like I can kind of see, like I always understood when people talked about that, and I feel like people who make the little adjustments, like the not squid grips, but the Control Freak, it's bad news for them, because I mean, right now that controller, like it feels perfect with your fingers inside the analogs. Also, the weight of the controller is relatively. It's not too heavy, not too light. It feels like
solid,
just right.
It feels solid, just right, man. It feels like you have a weapon of mass destruction in your hand when you hold it. You know?
Feeling like a badass, yeah. And
then that share button is just right, perfectly placed. I can imagine just people I want to share this, clicking that button, you know, and they definitely pondered the controller a lot. You could tell they talked to developers about it too, you know.
That's legit.
So,
very cool.
And the shoulder buttons are another thing that are a lot better. Triggers a lot better. So I think people are gonna a lot of people are gonna touch this controller and they're gonna be like, people are gonna buy this console because of the controller. That's how good it is.
Damn.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about the Xbox One controller, from the aesthetics at least, is the on the edge of the thumbsticks, it has like that textured kind of cross texturing on like the
almost more like a grip.
Yeah, I was like, that looks sexy as fuck. I want that. I want that in a PS4 controller. But I mean, I don't even want to mess with perfection if it's already where it needs to be.
What about the pressurized triggers? Because I know the Xbox One's getting that with the rumble like in the triggers themselves, but not the PS4.
Yeah. Oh, the rumble in the controller is fine. I don't know, man. That the rumble in the triggers, to me, was nothing that it didn't really appease me when I heard about that. I don't want not me personally. I don't know. I'm cool with I play without vibration on every game, period, anyways, to be honest. Because like another Rainbow Six habit, freaking wanting to be as accurate as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
I turn the vibration off, and I just got so used to playing every game without vibration. I always turn vibration off. So that's just me. Like I even did it like when I'm demoing games, I turn the vibration off because it just doesn't.
It can be distracting though.
Yeah.
With the recoil and the controller shaking at the same time, you turn that off. It's just one less thing that you even think about subconsciously.
Right.
Just helps you focus more. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that. I mean, I I thought it was a really cool idea that they had that rumble in the triggers, but at the same time, I was like, is that really just like a? I can see how that's really cool for racing games, but it can be distracting too. And is it that big of a deal?
It's like no.
It's cool. It's one feature that the PS4
Yeah, it's
doesn't
one
have,
feature of many that they like to promote.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. And moving on to the UI, the new UI we're getting with the PS4. I'm looking forward to this, man. I can't. We were just talking about this not too long ago, so I would the ability to just seamlessly go from one thing to the next without worrying about waiting forever for everything to process and figure itself out. If I want to go watch my friend play Killzone, I can just turn my PS4 on. It's already basically on all the time anyway. Just press a button, go over to his name. Oh, he's playing Killzone. Let me see where he is in the match. Oh, he's getting his ass whooped right now. Let me join in here real quick. See what I can do. Record it. Show him how it's done. Like, I'm so ready for that.
Oh yeah, I hear you on that, man.
I agree.
I love the UI, man. It's beautiful, man. Freaking Mark Cerny. I know Mark Cerny had a good hand in it, but Mark Cerny's the X factor of this PlayStation launch right now. This PlayStation 4 launch, like he's pretty much taking control of things. Like he's doing what Phil Harrison couldn't do with the PS3,
right?
Pretty much,
right.
And he just, every time people see Mark Cerny, they just feel good about the PlayStation brand. You can't not feel good about the PlayStation brand when you see that guy.
I'm telling you, like I feel so confident in my pre-order already. I'm like, yo, this dude is taking care of the PlayStation.
Like he's got it.
I
trust him.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got it, man. But the UI is great. I'm hoping. My only thing that I'm hoping is the PlayStation Store isn't what it is right now. I hope they find a way to make it a little more seamless and intuitive and a lot faster.
I can't find anything in the PlayStation Store, man. Like I feel like
I know
going around to find the simplest things. Like I just want the DLC for Borderlands. Like what?
Yeah, it'd be weird to have like this crazy and easy UI that's so easy and so intuitive, and then to go from that to like this PlayStation Store that's just like still cluster fuck of nothing, like so hopefully they fix that. We'll see, but the UI is great, man. I mean, I don't really have to, you guys seen it, like to go from the XMB, the cross media bar as it is now, to that, like come on, man, that's just like a huge leap.
And I see what they did. They have they kind of have the idea of the cross media bar still there, but it's like instead of cross, it's like a dual layer media bar. So it's like you go over to the thing and then it goes down and it's just side scrolling more, so you can see everything laid out right there.
Right.
It's pretty sexy.
Yeah, man. I think people are going to enjoy it so much. They're going to see the UI. The UI is going to sell it too.
Right.
In a lot of ways, and the Xbox One, they really, I don't know.
It looks like Windows 8.
Yeah, it's a lot like Windows 8.
Yeah.
Which was something that funny. There's this article that was published in the Wall Street Journal from this guy I met at a party at CES, and I met him. This guy, I didn't know he worked for the Wall Street Journal, but I was just like in this party, minding my own business, and I started talking to him because he was like talking to some woman, and I was trying to help him wingman, and we got into talking about what we were doing, and I was telling him, I like to talk about games, and I started talking about Windows 8, and then I started talking about how I think the Xbox One is going to like function similar to Windows 8. Like that was just like a crazy out of the nowhere prediction that I made that night, and he ended up like taking out his laptop and writing like this big long article about it, and it gets published in the Wall Street Journal. So I was like, what? It's crazy. But then I saw the UI and I was like, dude, I wasn't really far off, so Microsoft is pretty predictable.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do not like Windows 8 at all. Like, my mom got a new computer, and I was setting her up with that, and I was like learning Windows 8, and I was like, why? Like, I see they trying to do some things different, but like it feels so much more confusing now for like a lot of basic stuff. I mean, maybe it's just something you got to get used to, but it feels disconnected.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're right about that.
But I do see what PlayStation did with a couple of their things. Like they have like a lot of tile stuff, so that's kind of Windows 8 reminiscent too. So
yeah.
I want to dive deep into that and like really explore all the stuff that's going on. Like it sounds so dumb talking about it out loud. I was like, I just want to see what the UI is like, but like it's like all part of the experience of like when you have that controller in your hand, you turn it on for the first time, you hear that chime, and then you're like, all right, let's get into this and see what all the intricacies are within what I can do with this thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm excited, man.
I think this is the whole social network aspect for it is definitely gonna be a winner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they definitely know what they're doing. They know what they're doing over there.
Yeah. All right. Now moving on to the next part. Jeez. So as a recap, I've been recording off and on so that it saves everything that I can get up to. We talked about the female gamers being implemented within Call of Duty, and we talked about what that means for the industry and if that's a good thing, a bad thing, the pros and cons. The consensus is that we want more developers to include females within gaming without like kind of blatantly saying, "Hey, we have girls now." Just like the whole idea of equal gender equality is for everything to be equal as opposed to one over the other. So
Right.
that's a thing. The question we were on before Skype decided to just bend us over and say no. What will be your the first next gen game you purchase? And I think my first next gen game, it's hard to say because there's a lot of games that I really want to get. I'm getting a lot of the games already. Battlefield 4 and Watch Dogs are 2 games I'm already getting. So I think in terms of like what I'm getting right out of the box, those are probably the 2 that are on my like that are definitely on the front runner for games to get. But I'm really interested in NAC. Like I loved Crash, and this is Mark Cerny doing this. Like I feel so confident in his abilities to elevate PlayStation to where it needs to be dominant in this generation. And he's the mastermind behind the game, so I think we're in good hands. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
As far as first game for me goes, I think that the first game that I'm gonna purchase is gonna be whichever game I grab off the shelf first, because honestly, I think I'm gonna just go to the store and just grab the games.
Yeah.
Just grab them. If I have to say which one I'm the most excited about, though, it's definitely. Well, see, the thing is, the multi-platform games, I'm going to play those before they even come out. I'm going to be one of those people who does the little adopt or the upgrade thing, and moves from one game to the other.
Right.
I'll probably end up playing them again. I'm definitely most. Dang, it's so tough, man.
Yeah.
I think Shadowfall might be my most. No. I take that back. I'm most excited about freaking the indies. The indie games, like
hey man, I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, I really, cause like I'm one of those people who missed out on Blacklight Retribution.
Me too.
Because I didn't have a PC that could run it. Mm-hmm. So I'm super excited to freaking play that game from day one. I think that's gonna be the first thing I do. I'm gonna freaking download that game and just start uploading videos about like, hey, everybody download this game and play it.
Right.
I love Zombie Studios, and another game they're gonna have coming out soon is Daylight 2, and that's another game I'm looking forward to.
Ah, yes, I can't wait for that either.
Daylight, yeah. There's what's that
Or
what's that game that's coming out that's basically a sequel to Dead Island?
No, that's the other one I was looking at earlier. Dying Light, I think.
Dying
it is.
Light.
Dying
Which is
Light,
like a combo of Dead Island and Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks pretty sweet too.
Man, I just hope they don't ruin what like Dead Island could have been such a better game than it was, man. I really wanted that game to be like I wanted that to be like the Skyrim of zombies, man. I wanted the story to be there. Like the trailer that they had for that game was just so beautifully done.
It was really, really well done.
Like, if we're gonna get a full-fledged story along with like co-op in an environment that looks like it looks full of like detail and energy, like I can't wait to play this. And then like I got in, I was like, all right, it's fun, but like where's the story? Like why do all the characters look like plastic, dolls?
Terrible
like,
models.
Yeah, like what's going on, man? I have difficulty getting excited for that game just because I know what they did.
Right.
But I'll still have to go with you, Will. I mean, Watch Dogs day one, I have to get that, and hopefully Battlefield 4. I was saying that it looks really, really good on a PC.
Yep.
But already on a PS4, it's not as good, not so great. I'm like, well, what's the point of the whole new console? You're supposed to have the same nice-looking graphics and the mind-blowing stuff, not a little bit better. I mean, I want to see it running for myself, though, before I make that choice.
Yeah, a lot of people who I just read up on some IGN article, and I saw a video of someone talking about it. Like, they just came from Gamescom and played it on PS4, and of course the game isn't done yet, but they were like, we were expecting to be blown away, but it was kind of underwhelming. So I'm holding my breath. Like, this is the first games coming out for the next gen, so like I'm sure the next Battlefield that comes out is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
But like I'm wondering if I should invest in this game knowing that there's much more they could have done. Or if I should just play the other free-to-play first-person shooters that are coming anyway, because there's a lot.
Get Killzone instead.
I'm Killzone looks amazing, man. Like I played Killzone 2 online a lot. I didn't buy Killzone 3 because I was like, all right, I'm kind of like over it right now. But like this one just looks like so crisp, so like vibrant.
It really does.
Yeah. Did you play it yet?
No, that's one I have not been able to touch, man. I'm hyped about it. I did play Knack, and Knack is gonna be awesome. But man, Shadowfall, man, I'm waiting. Yeah. I'm waiting, man.
Actually, no, I think that was the game that I was saying that was gonna be my number one buy. Shadowfall, I don't know what I was thinking. That's gonna be the number one. That's gonna be the first game I get. And then
I hope it's the second coming of Killzone 2.
Yeah, me too. Because
I liked Killzone 2 a lot.
I did too.
So
it was a little gray, but it was gritty, man. It was
but it worked.
Visceral.
Yeah.
Those headshots were so satisfying, man. You hit it. I was like,
yeah.
Yes.
So good. I guess this is kind of a weird question to ask anyway. Like, what your first-person shooter of choice is? We already talked about Call of Duty and Battlefield a little bit. I mean, if you guys have anything to add to that part, feel free.
First person shooter of choice, like overall, in life. At the top of my list is 3 games. Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah,
would be definitely the top spot game. Yeah, I mainly because I don't think I've been as good at any game ever than I was as that game. I was actually a professional Rainbow Six player. I was on MLG and crap, so that was like my. Yeah, dude. A lot of people ask, like, where'd you start, like, with your YouTube and everything gaming? It was with that.
Wow.
Like,
I would not be on your channel right now.
All those videos are private now because they're really old videos that I used to do. I used to do like these freaking crazy Rainbow Six montages and stuff.
Yeah.
And they had like music from like actual licensed music, so I had to private the videos because they would have flagged me for it. So
yeah, YouTube is very finicky.
Yeah, but that was like my start, dude. That was my start, freaking that game, and it's like why I'm cool with the people at Ubisoft now. That and I don't know, that game was just so good to me, like from just for every standpoint, man. Just the little things, like it wasn't as tactical as the other Rainbow Six games, but it still had like that good sense of tactical shooter in it that you could slowly feel fading away. It was still there, and I enjoyed it so much, man. I enjoyed freaking going in the cover system and having 8-minute long battles with people before anybody actually died.
Yeah, that game was. I mean, it could have been more tactical if it really wanted to be, but like it had a perfect blend of like tactical and like Twitch gameplay. Like blended in there, and I played the hell out of that game, man. Like I went to a wedding to Barbados because that's where my family's from, and I couldn't bring my PS3 down at the time, and that's when Rainbow Six Vegas dropped, and I was like fiending, man. I was like scratching myself, like I need Rainbow Six, man. Like I needed it so bad. So I was loving that game, man.
Yeah, it was definitely huge, definitely huge. I think that game was like the only first person shooter out at the beginning of the gen. Really, that was like just great. Before, yeah, it was the only one. I don't know anything else that was out. I mean, Gears was out at the time.
Resistance was out too.
Yeah.
Resistance was out. Yeah, Resistance was out. But that game just did something else that no other game could at the time. So
Yeah.
that would definitely be at the top of my list. Second would be Counter-Strike.
Okay.
I'm a big Counter-Strike fan. It's another game that I played a lot growing up. And then last but not least, GoldenEye.
Okay. All right. All right.
You can't go. I don't have to say anything for that one.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah.
I think for me, man, I as much of a Sony man as I am, just Halo, man. Halo 2.
Oh yeah.
That
Oh
game,
yeah.
I spent so many eye-bleeding, like 5 a.m. days playing that game, man. Like played it online. Like I used a sniper rifle as a shotgun, man. Like I got so good at that game. Like I was just playing that nonstop all the time. Like my mom, like, hey, you want food? I just be like, I don't hear you.
I hear that. No. Halo 2 was great.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's freaking hard though. Now you're making me think. You guys are throwing out some good ones. I mean,
You can use one of the ones we use. That's fine.
I'd have to. Malik said it third, but that's still number one for me.
GoldenEye.
And it has to be. I mean, that was the first person shooter that I spent 5-10 hours straight in a sitting, just going and doing multiplayer matches till 4 or 5 in the morning, and setting your kill limit to unlimited, seeing who could have the highest score after so many hours, and doing pistols with one-shot kills, and oh yeah, just some hours and hours in the GoldenEye. That was probably number one for me still to this day. I mean, if I'm talking all time, I'd be willing to give it number 2. I'd probably say Call of Duty series, because I can still remember playing Call of Duty on the PC.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, your picture's gone, man.
Oh, my bad.
You
Yours
you
isn't
losing
even
the
up at
connection?
all. Yeah. So I was making sure it was actually active. I'm like, what?
But I mean, back when it was still World War II genres, those were so much fun too. That was some of my first days playing online on the PC too.
Nice.
And I'll give it third. I'll say another series, Rainbow Six, because I still played the original when you spent like an hour planning before you even went in. Actually added on to that, and then of course Vegas was another great game. But yeah, those would be my 3.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. So I think the last and final one I think we should touch on, then call it a day. Now that the Xbox One is a completely different beast, are we looking at a real competition here? Is this what it's all about?
I think we are. This is going to be a knockdown, drag out. This is going to be vicious. Definitely, PlayStation starting off with the advantage.
Yeah.
But there are little things that Microsoft is doing that's going to ruffle some feathers. Like, for instance, my most anticipated game of the following gen, besides Naughty Dog's unannounced title, is freaking The Division. I'm looking forward to The Division a lot.
yeah.
Wait. That and Metal Gear are my most anticipated games for the next generation, hands down.
Right. Oh yeah, Metal Gear too. How could I forget? But a lot of people are looking at The Division with a side eye, like, this game's going to be pretty huge.
I agree with you.
But get this though. I don't know if you guys saw, but at Gamescom, Microsoft they got some exclusive content for The Division that's going to be exclusive to the Xbox One.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, so that's kind of huge, dude. Because I think that game is gonna definitely set some folks off. So we'll see. But when Microsoft does things like that, it I don't know. I don't know. They have to convince me, because all I could think about is when they got the freaking GTA Liberty City Stories, back with GTA 4. That's all I can think about.
I remember
the episodes. That. And it was supposed to be just Xbox only exclusive, and it ended up coming to PlayStation 3 eventually, and that kind of just irked my nerves.
Right.
So I'm hoping that there's not another episode of that. Actually, I hope so. I would like to see everybody get everything, but I don't know, man. That kind of, if you're going to get The Division, depending on what that content is, that might influence some people to get it on one system than the other.
Right.
So I don't know.
That game's gonna be so dope, man. And that goes into what we were saying before about like the social integration and like being able to blendlessly go into cooperative, out of co-op, and then like into like a competitive environment, like on the fly, like within the environment.
Yeah,
that's so crazy, man. I love it. Oh, I can't wait. Anyway, is there anything you guys wanted to add into there? I mean, the podcast is pretty long.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna trim this one down.
I'll figure it out. I got this.
Malik covered it, man. Like I would have agreed with that entirely. It's gonna be a slugfest. We just gotta wait and see who comes out on top first. But I don't know who. Sony's in the lead, but who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Now that Xbox has decided to not be dicks about the way they're running business right now.
Yeah.
I think we have good healthy competition. It's gonna be good for gamers because everyone's gonna get what they want because people wanted to get an Xbox One but they didn't want those policies and now they're able to get that. So we're gonna keep seeing stuff like that now because I know Sony has been really looking into being more proactive about their approach to elevating their platform and making sure people are really invested in it and interested, not just because it's the Sony brand but because they're implementing all this really cool stuff. So
right,
they're gonna do the thing, man. Anyway, I hope you guys at home have enjoyed this podcast session. It's been crazy.
Yes.
It's been awesome. It's been long.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, my ass fucking hurts.
You guys got to go check out Malik's channel. There's going to be an annotation where his character's face is. There's also going to be one in the description below on iTunes. You guys will be able to check that out. He's got a lot of great content on his channel. Definitely do it.
Oh yes, we're going through it's a transitional period too, so content's getting ready to get really crazy.
Oh yeah.
I just moved and stuff, so like for this reason. So
Okay.
All right.
That's pretty legit. Anyway, guys at home, I will catch you guys later on the next video. Game on, J-Blaze out. And I love you all.
And thanks for having me on here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey man, no doubt. Thanks for coming on.